Hold on one second. Go ahead, Chris. Hold on. Yes. All right, George, we'll start here.
Yep.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Coach, you talked about how this would be an extension of training camp and you'd be focusing on the core principles. In that regard, without looking at the film, how did you feel your group did tonight?
I think they did a very good job. We talk about playing hard, sitting down and defending. We talk about sharing the basketball, 25 assists and 36 shots. I think that's moving in the right direction. We talk about, hands up activity on closeouts. I'd have to go back and look at the film and see how many, middle drives we had and how many attempts they had at the rim. But looking at it from just what I can remember for now is that we did a good job at rim protection.
Coach Chris Hayes, Orlando Sentinel. A couple of guys that really stood out tonight. Mo Bamba with the double-double was very active. And then Mo Wagner as well. He had a good night as well, shooting the ball.
Yeah, they played well. I think and that falls in line with that ball moving. Everybody feels a part of it. They really did well. That the energy, the intensity, the focus on the defensive end of the floor. I think they did a really, really good job. Their energy was really high, and just hats off to them for playing that hard.
For your young guys, a lot of the guys on the edge of the roster to get the opportunity to play in that kind of a close game and gain an NBA experience, just how valuable is it for those guys?
It's great. I mean, to be in a close game, down 1 point with a chance to win the game. You look at that for that experience for them is big. They putting him in tight situations. You can only grow from that and learn from that.
It seems like for Mo Bamba, this is a real good opportunity for him to kind of step out this season. Do you see that intention with him and that kind of aggressiveness?
Well, Mo's been wanting to push himself to get better and be better, and that showed tonight in his ability to run the floor, protecting the rim. Got caught in a couple switches where he usually would fly out, where he sat down and guarded a couple times. Offensively, ducking in, rolling to the rim. And then stepping out and being able to make shots. I think he did a very good job for us tonight in his growth.
And you talk about the passing. I think it really showed in the versatility you had of a lot of people getting active within the offense. Cole with 16 points too. A couple of guys with 10 points. That's what you're really looking for, right?
Yes, Trissa, that's exactly it. You want to be able to share the basketball. And then there's going to be nights when the shots don't fall. We had some very good looks, but at the end of the day, we were moving the basketball. I think we were at a 50% rate of the ball moving from side to side. We can increase that, but the guys did a good job of being playing selfless and moving the basketball.
And about Jalen, his first night in the preseason game anyway, but he had Marcus Smart on him, which is a pretty tough assignment right away. How do you think he did tonight?
I think he did well for understanding who's guarding him. Marcus Smart is, first team all defense at times, and understanding that this is, Jalen coming into his first NBA game. And I really think that he handled himself well. He had some open looks. He's making the right play, and the ball started with him, and it was moving around the horn at times. So I really think, he did well in considering who's guarding him.
Okay, George, to you.
Okay, we'll start with Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Jamahl, what kind of strides has Mo Bamba made with his conditioning since you were hired?
The staff has done a fantastic job with him, pushing him, having him play with multiple effort. His conditioning is, obviously because it's still training camp, no one's conditioning is where it should be, but they've made a ton of strides, getting better each and every single day. So he's done a very good job getting himself in great shape.
Josh Cohen, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Coach, talk about Gary Harris. He made some solid plays out there on both ends of the floor. Did you like his intensity and overall kind of team play? It seemed like he was really fitting in well with the youngsters.
Absolutely. He did a very good job. I mean, there was a couple possessions. He came down the floor, switched on to Tatum, sat down, guarded, got a couple travel calls, a couple deflections. I really just think he did his intensity and his knowledge of, NBA players and NBA sets. He did a really good job for us. Yes.
Back to Josh Robbins.
Jamahl, what were your impressions of how Franz looked?
I think Franz looked good. Again, making the right play. I think a lot of those guys, the guys that are just first starting these games, they were so amped up and hyped up to get out there. I think they got a little gassed early, which was expected, especially playing here. But I think he did a really good job on making the right reads, making the right cuts, not afraid to step into his shot, being selfless on his cuts to get his teammates open. I thought that was really good.
Anything else for Coach Mosley? I believe that's Joey Cologne.
Hey, Coach. I would like to ask you real quick. Terrence Ross is one of the oldest members of the Orlando Magic, and I would like to know how has been his approach with the young players so far, and how is he helping them develop their game throughout preseason that just started tonight?
That's a very good question. Terrence Ross has been absolutely fantastic. His ability to work every single day. He comes in as a pro. He's usually the first one in the gym on the court. And then he talks to these young guys on the sideline, letting them know different situations they're going to be in. He's done a very good job with these young guys. And then, just working himself as well into shape. And he's been very good for us.
Sorry, JC, that clearly wasn't Joey Cologne. Any other questions for Coach Mosley? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Coach talked a lot about how training camp, a preseason is an extension of training camp, and you guys would be focusing on your core principles. In that regard, how did you feel the group did tonight?
I thought we did a great job. I thought early, it took everybody, a couple minutes kind of get, I know for me especially, just get the jitters out. First time playing in front of a crowd again in about a year and a half. First NBA game, things like that. So, once we got comfortable, especially in that second half, late in the first and then in the second half, especially the ball is moving, we're hitting all our cues offensively and defensively. We did a great job tonight in stunting, being in gaps, playing hard, and things like that, and holding a good team with a lot of good scores, under 100 points. So great night, a lot of learning points, a lot of good takeaways, and, keep it pushing into New Orleans.
Jalen, Chris Hayes, Orlando Sentinel. How do you assess yourself tonight?
Again, it's a learning process. It's going to be the ups and downs. Definitely with some downs tonight. But a lot of good things to take away. I thought they did a great job, and playing hard while I was out there. On the defensive end, especially. Tipping passes, blocking shots. Things like that. Just trying to make an impact wherever I can. Second half, I slowed down a little bit. I got my feet under me. I slowed my mind down. I thought I did a lot better job. But again, it's just all about growing and getting better. I'm not, going to take these games again like they're game 7 of the finals. I'm here to learn, get comfortable with the game, learn the pace, and, so that when we hit the 20th again, I got it all under me and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Go ahead, George.
Okay, Jalen. Any questions for Jalen Suggs? First one goes to Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Jalen, what were your thoughts facing Marcus Smart, a guy who has been an all defensive team player for large portions of his career?
Again, he's great. He's so smart on the defensive end, the way that he can, bait you into things, making you go where he wants you to go and things like that. So it's just about learning, trying to get his tendencies down and, pick and choose when to change the pace and, when to attack and, when to take his aggressiveness, and his gambleness against him, maybe get a back cut and things like that. So, it was, a sign of respect, though. That's how I take it. That's how Coach told me to take it. That first assignment, drawn to me was Marcus Smart. So take for what it is. He's a great player, great defender, and good learning experience.
Go ahead, Josh. You got a follow-up?
I do. Jalen, there was a sequence in the second half, I believe, where you blocked one player, and then on the next trip down, you blocked another player. I think one was Williams and the other might have been Tatum. What did that sequence say about what you intend to bring to the court and how you intend to bring it?
My effort. That takes no skill at all every night. It just takes, you wanted to go out there and actually do it, give it your all. Again, shots are going to fall. Sometimes the ball's going to bounce your way. Sometimes it isn't. But defensively, rebounding, talking, all those things, are things that take no talent. You can do every night. So really doing those things, the little things, to help swing momentum, in our way. And those are two big stops, and the team went on a run after that. So again, just trying to do what I can do to help the team every night.
Josh Cohen, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Jalen, if there's one thing that you feel you did really well, what is that? And then also, what is something you really want to improve on going forward?
I think one thing I did well, was just try to defend. I thought, especially on the defensive end, I did a good job. And, we've preached, all camp about, being in gaps, being in early stunts and things like that. I went where I gambled and, coach let me know about it, but, taking those things and learning from it. I think today I gained a lot of knowledge. I got, a lot more comfortable, than I did coming into it. So, it's a learning process, getting better day by day. I think the whole team did a great job today. Honestly, I was so happy to see everybody out there playing, feeding off energy and getting runs. And it was great to see everybody hooping. So it was a great night tonight.
JC Nieves, La Guerra.
Hey, Jalen, following up with the last question, we know that you're so good offensively, but do you feel like your defense has been underrated? And we know tonight you gave 2 blocks, huge blocks, and also you're a great defender in transition. But not many people talk about your defense. Is that something that you would like to focus this year as your rookie season?
I think defense is everything at the end of the day. Coach been preaching on it. Defense turns to offense. And that's how you get easy buckets. So I'm just trying to go out there, do what I can for the team. Be in gaps, get stops, things like that, so we can get back to the offensive end and get things rolling. So, but I think defensively, it's a group effort. You can't have one great defender and Floyd that aren't picking up the slack. That just won't work at all. Everybody did a great job of talking tonight, being in gaps. Corralling guys, especially when JT and Jalen got to the paint. Everybody was stunting, getting hands in, raking. Make it difficult for those guys in there. So, great defensive game tonight, and a lot of good takeaways.
All right, you're all good. Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mo, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Coach talked about preseason being an extension of training camp and that you guys would be focusing on your core principles. In that regard, how do you feel the team did tonight?
I think we did some really good things. I think when times got tough, we didn't put our head down, which goes to our culture. And I think we really made some plays. We were pretty unselfish out there. We made a lot of more passes. And I think overall it's just something that we can really build off of.
Mo, Chris Hayes, Orlando Sentinel. I know it's just a preseason game, but yet tonight you came out, it was almost like a statement type game for you to kind of put yourself out there the way that you've talked about coming into this season.
Yeah, I just want to be about my word. But I actually disagree with you. I think I came out a little slow. I kind of let the game come to me, which I can't do. But I just try to put as much presence on the rim, try to change the game as much as possible defensively, even if the shots aren't falling.
Do you hear people out there that talk about your first 3 years, the critics, so to speak? Do you hear that? How do you answer to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'd be sitting there lying if I said I wasn't, listening to, the different things. I just try to use it as constructive criticism. There were a lot of things that happened that weren't in my control, but I try to do my best as possible this offseason and this training camp to put myself in the best position as possible to help this team.
Go ahead, George.
Okay, guys, questions for Mo Bamba? Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Mo, this is our first opportunity to see you play since last season, obviously. How much better shape are you now that you've had a full, healthy offseason for the first time as a pro?
I think I'm in better shape going into this year than I was last year. Still definitely just something that I want to continue to work at. I don't think any NBA player in this league would tell you that they're in their peak shape. They always tell you that they want to work towards something more. But it's a step in the right direction, and I want to continue to keep working my butt off.
Josh Cohen, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Mo, I know you guys were talking a lot about how the energy and spirit during training camp was really high. Did you sense it was the same during this preseason game?
Absolutely. It's contagious, like I mentioned before. You just want to see guys do well. We're all in very early. Most of us are in very early stages of our careers where we're trying to figure out, who we are and what we can do for this team and in this league. And we're all very supportive of it.
Anything else for Mo, guys? All right, you're all set, Mo.
Thank you.